Hey, I'm Stephanie.
And I am Meredith.
And welcome to This Is My Circus.
Oh, and Rex.
And Rex is here, but he can't say his name.
He cannot.
But he can breathe really heavy right into the microphone.
He is right in the mic.
And so I positioned the camera where he can see himself on the screen, and he is just like mesmerized by himself.
He is. He just sat so pretty as soon as you got it situated so he could just see what was going on. He's such a good boy. Well, I threw his tennis ball. Yeah, and I think he just like gave up on it, and now he's
like, you go fetch it, lady.
Yeah, he's like, you throw it. Here, I'll get it.
It's okay. Did you see his toy though?
Which one? The alligator. I see the alligator.
So we got him a new toy, that duck, but it's got the crinkly wings.
Oh, yeah.
And like, he's not really sure about that. As soon as it crinkles, he's like, yo.
He's done. Have you ever done the Bark Box subscriptions or anything?
I've looked into it, but I haven't done it.
So I had done one several years ago, and it was really a good deal because I did when you first sign up for that stuff, you get all the bonuses and whatever. So they were sending extra chew toys and stuff. So it was a really good thing because they supplied toys that were not easily to destruct.
Yeah.
Now, not the fuzzy kind.
Well, and he won't play with the rubbery kind.
Okay.
He does not. I don't know if it. Well, when we got him, he had that tumor on his face.
Yeah.
And he had to have surgery where they cut him from like the top of his head to the bottom of his jaw.
Oh, baby.
To get this tumor out, and I think it messed with his jaw.
Yeah.
And so he does not like super hard toys.
Yeah.
He won't play with them.
Okay.
We bought them.
Right.
Thinking like, oh, he's not going to chew through these.
Yeah.
But
he's
he
not
won't
a fan
play with them. Mm-mm.
Yeah. Well, ours do like the really hard. Anything to chew on.
Mm-hmm.
All of ours do. And whatever, that's fine. You don't give them rawhide, you give them the better selections.
Yeah.
But you look so pretty today.
Thank you.
I'm totally underdressed.
Hey, I was feeling a little festive since it's
I love it.
July.
I love it.
Not that I've left my house today.
My friend Lindsay made me a shirt, and I should have worn it. But it says "Spilling the Tea since 1773," and it's so cute. It's so cute.
Yeah, we've been working on our merch for our stuff, and we actually hired a guy to do like a whole line for us.
Okay.
But then we had to fire the guy that does all of our technical stuff, so it's just been really slow moving now.
Yeah.
So it is what it is, but eventually it'll get out there.
It will. It will. Somebody that just focuses on that probably will help you guys a lot.
Yeah. I know what I like when I see it, but I can't come up with those clothing design.
Well, I have a hard time too because, like you said, I know what I like, but that doesn't mean everybody else will like it.
Yeah.
So I feel you there.
Yeah, and it's like,
I don't want that pressure.
Yeah, and then the critics out there.
totally. And on one side, I'm like, oh, who cares? On the other hand, I'm like, oh, my feelings.
Yeah. Well, and so I do all of our limited edition bags, and I'll design all of those, and so every time we do a limited edition, it's like I'm holding my breath, and I'm like, I hope they sell.
And I'm sure they do very well.
But everybody has different tastes.
Totally.
I get that.
Yeah. I have a cornhole bag question.
Okay.
So
I'll be able to answer it. But...
You will. I have a feeling you will. So when they're at a tournament, and do they just use one set of bags, or how often do they change those?
So every match they're allowed to use one set of bags.
Okay.
And I believe for the real matches or whatever, they can warm up so they can see how the boards are playing, because depending on the conditions, the board could be super slow,
slippery or something.
Yeah. So most of the guys bring several different sets of bags for the different conditions.
Okay.
But during a match, you cannot switch out your bags. You have to use the same set the whole time.
Okay. But they would probably use one set and then be done with that set, and the next tournament get another match, whatever.
Use them. No, because they break them in. And so once they're broken in, they're either super slinky, so they can slide into the hole really easy.
Okay.
Right out of the box, most of them are a little bit stiffer.
Mm-hmm.
And as you play with them, they break in and get softer, and they can do.
See, I didn't even think about all this stuff. There's really a science to it.
There is, yeah.
Kind of like where a baseball glove or cleats you would want to break in.
Yeah.
And
And every bag has a different material on it, so they play different. So you can have a slick, what they call it, slick and stick, where it's suede on one side, so that's super sticky. And then the other side can be a super fast material. So depending on those, conditions.
Or where you need your bag to go.
Not that, I mean, like, they know how to throw on what side they want to. I mean, I just throw it and hope for the best.
I just hope it hits the board.
I hope it just stays on the board.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. If it hits the board, that's great. I just want it to get kind of in. Yeah. I'm terrible.
You know, Dylan is really good.
Really?
Yeah, and I think it's just a sports thing. Like, you know, he's got great hand-eye coordination. He does not get that from me.
Yeah. No, you're supposed to say he does.
No, he does not. Like, I am aware of my abilities, and that is not one of them.
Was Brandon really athletic? I mean, I know he's fit, but...
Yeah, he played baseball when he was younger. I think he tried football, like, before high school, and like it just wasn't his jam. Yeah. But you know, I played soccer and I was on track for a couple of years. Okay. And so I was always more of like a runner, like cardio, not like
the coordination.
I mean, again, like I played soccer, but up until 10th grade.
Okay. Well, Brian and I were talking about your business and cornhole, and he was like, well, we just were like, well, when did they change their bags? And we had all these questions because it's just something we never thought about. Yeah. I did not realize that they could be made different materials on either side, which that totally makes sense. Mm-hmm. And that's really, do y'all do those? Do y'all make stuff like that?
We'll have 15 different series this year. So it'll be 15 different like combos. And then there's different fill too, and different fill plays differently. And so it's like a whole science to it.
There is. Yeah. Thank you for the education. I did not know.
Not again. I can't play it.
Well, yeah, but now we know a little bit about it. So Jay got back from the beach today. Mm-hmm. I missed him.
I bet.
It was like the longest week of my life.
Isn't it so weird? Like, they're there and you're like, oh my gosh. And then they leave and you're like, oh my gosh.
I felt like it was just forever. So he left on Friday and spend the night with Juicy's family because they were getting up early Saturday to leave. And then they just got back today. So it was technically over a week. And yeah, I mean, even just trying to, and he didn't want to text me. I mean, he was having fun and he would respond and stuff. But I was in my feelings a little bit. I was getting a little bit salty because I texted him. I was like, hey, what are you doing? And he, a few minutes later, is like watching him play pool. And I was like, oh, cool. Who are you watching? A few minutes later, he said, Juicy and Anthony. And I said, oh, what are y'all going to do today? And there was no answer. Aww. And I was like, if you're not playing, you can at least answer. And I told Brian, I was like, I'm done with him. Like, I'm done. I'm not even. And a few minutes later, he responded. He was like, sorry. And I just, didn't answer back. And I told Brian, I was like, I'm done. I'm cutting him off. I'm just done. But it was so funny because then like the next day, I think he was texting Brian. I had Brian's phone for some reason, and his whole text chain to Jackson was huge. And I was like, I didn't get all this. Mm-hmm. So it was just the moment. Yeah. But they had a great time walking around and playing in the pool and riding golf carts and all the things.
Yeah. That's good.
I know.
I always tell Dylan if he doesn't respond, I'm like, you have a phone and I know that it's always in your face. And if you can't respond to me when I text you, then you don't get a phone.
I try to give him a little bit, especially because I knew like he could have been in the pool and not able to respond. But that's why I was like, you're sitting there watching and you're not playing it, aggressively texting him.
You better get on that.
I know. I've been on my high horse lately. There's a Facebook page, and it's a beach group for one of our South Carolina beaches. Mm-hmm. And it had a picture of a family standing on sand dunes. And, you're not supposed to get on the sand dunes because of erosion and that kind of stuff. And underneath it, you could see where there was a picture, like a plaque in the sand dunes that said, do not get on dunes. and it's in their family photo. So, of course, everybody's commenting on this chain, and I'm like, this is why we can't have nice things. I think that was the first thing I said. So this dude commented back and was like, they're just standing on it. And I was like, this is going to be the hill I die on today. Yeah. And so I just go to town like, you can't, if everybody stands on da-da-da-da. And he was like, what's the big deal? So I was like, let me check this fella out. He was like 13 or 12.
He's probably in the photo.
He was like, they're just standing on it. They're not hurting anything. And he was like, I ride my scooter up and down them. And he was probably just being a jerk at this point. But I was like, I'm going to admit it. Yeah, he was. I was like, I am not losing this. And then I went to refresh and say something else because, like I said, I've been in a mood and I was not going to lose that battle. And all his comments were gone. And I was like, I won. Who's next? And I'm like,
dirty deleter.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how I've been lately.
Well, we have some exciting news. So Brandon had to go out of town to Michigan because the American Cornhole League's final chase, their last national event before the World Championship, is this weekend.
Wow.
So our commercial aired, and it aired on CBS Sports last night, and it'll be on ESPN tonight and tomorrow, and then Monday back on CBS. So
I'm gonna have to troll it. I bet it'll be like on their Twitter or something. I think.
Well, we'll have it on our social tomorrow.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, it was super exciting. And then the teams event was last night for the ACL. They have state teams, kind of like the NFL does now. So they kind of like followed suit with that. And last night, the teams that played, we had players from our team on both of those teams. Oh, so either way, we were like,
yeah.
But the team that had 3 players from our team won last night, and so
of course
Brandon was in the audience cheering.
Oh, that's good.
And he made the broadcast, like he was like in the audience.
Oh, that's cool though. That's really cool.
So that was really. He said it was such a cool experience, and I was like, well, cool. I'm here with a bunch of 15-year-old boys who requested root beer floats.
Did they really?
Yeah. I ran and got root beer and ice cream.
Oh, gosh.
And I was like,
those are nasty.
I don't like them either.
Okay.
But I was like, it could be so much worse.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
And I was thinking of what I was doing, like around your age. And I was
so you were like, we can do root beer floats.
But you guys ice cream all day long.
Right.
Okay.
That's so cute, though. He's so cute. Let him have it.
If you hear crinkling, it's the duck.
Rex is like, me?
Yes, it's Rexy.
So yeah, you've had boys in and out then for the past couple of days. You were saying.
So like I was telling you earlier, when we work a lot, so it's hard for Dylan to have friends over and be able to let loose and be loud, and the noise doesn't bother me. I can block it out. I think that's like a mom trait.
I think so too.
Where like they could be in the next room and I don't hear them, or I block it out. Selective hearing, I guess.
Yeah. Totally.
But Brandon has a harder time navigating that. And so it's Dylan was like, Mom, can everybody come over? So
everybody. He didn't even just say one name.
So it's been like, a revolving door of friends, which is totally fine. I'm glad that he's having a good time and gets to use the pool with his friends and
absolutely
doing all the things that he wants to do still.
Well, I want to take a float in your pool sometime.
Yes,
I think we should.
I agree.
But should we do that before or after our viewing party of Matt Rife?
OMG. Can
we really do that?
I am down.
I think that'd be so much fun.
I think we do like a party, or do like some kind of party in Facebook. Like
I think so, like a viewing party or something there. Yeah. So what we're talking about is July 17th. Matt Rife is doing a show
on YouTube.
On YouTube. So we will have to have a viewing party.
I think it'd be fun.
I think, oh God, even if it's just you and I in there, it probably will be. It's so much fun.
Listen, I am like, it was so funny. So I just saw a clip of him. I don't know if it's like on TikTok or whatever.
Yeah.
He was doing an interview and he said that when he first, he had been doing comedy for like 11 years, but like when he was really getting booked nationally, he went to somewhere in New York and sold out the show like immediately. I think it was 2 shows, one after the other. And he goes in there, and the first show was all women. And they were not there for comedy. He's like, they were there because I look like this. and I was like, well.
I mean.
So he said in the second show, he's like, surely this isn't going to happen again. The second show, it was all gay men and one woman.
That's great. That's great.
So I'm sure like this is going to be a super funny like hour. And it's free. Like he's doing it for free because he says that everybody just judges him on his looks.
Yeah.
And he is doing it for his OnlyFans.
I think it's great. We'll definitely make an event and put it in our page, and whoever wants to come join us, please do. I can't wait. I'm interested to see how it's going to go. He's got to have some live people there because that's his thing. It's like just roasting people that are just in the front row or whatever. Yeah, so good. Okay, we'll definitely do that.
I'm excited.
Me too. Wait, you've got a birthday coming up?
The 13th.
Okay. Yeah. I was going to say, that's not on your birthday, is it?
No.
Okay.
That would have been a birthday present, huh?
He modeled. I mean, obviously.
Did you see that thing that I put with the other comedian?
Josh Prairie?
Yes.
Yeah, that was funny. He gets it. He totally gets it.
So I found Josh Prey during COVID because, there was nothing else to do but scroll on Facebook.
Yeah.
But I saw him with like a picture of Matt Rife and I was like, oh, this is going to be good.
This is a good one. Yeah, I saw that. That was great. And the other thing we've shared that was really funny was the umpire and just being so exaggerated. And you had mentioned going to see the Savannah Bananas because their ump gets crazy.
Yeah.
I would love to do that too.
We should totally look up the schedule. Yeah. I've been wanting to go for like a year and a half.
And Brian has no interest, imagine that, in going to see that.
Brandon really doesn't.
But Brian does like Matt Rife. He thinks he's funny.
Yeah.
I mean, he is.
He's hysterical. Yeah.
So, okay. So, Matt Rife viewing party on July 17th, and we're going to look up the Savannah Bananas. Oh, my gosh.
So, like, the other team that plays with them is called the Party Animals, and I follow both of them on social media, and they are so funny.
I wondered who the other one was, or if it was several teams, because I hadn't done
it. It's just two teams. It's the Party Animals and then, like, the Bananas.
Yeah.
So, I think the Party Animals are supposed to be like the bad boy, like, version, whatever, but, So,
yeah, they're fun to watch.
Yeah.
There was one Facebook or TikTok or something recently where they were like sitting in the bleachers singing Britney Spears, I think.
And they were like coming out.
Oh, yeah. I would die.
Like the whole like 90s vibe.
Yes. Yeah. That was great. That was good.
I'm such a Britney Spears fan. I still to this day. I love her.
I saw, oh my God, all I feel like I've done lately is watch TikToks. There's a talk show host, and he's, I want to say based in London. I can't remember his name, but his thing is every celebrity that comes on has to share some kind of funky trait they have or attribute. Like Hugh Jackman was juggling. Somebody else was riding a unicycle. Well, Anne Hathaway can do a Britney Spears impression.
No.
I'm gonna have to link that as well. Do you think Britney is has been taken away by somebody? Because there's all that conspiracy.
No, I don't know. I have been a fan since like the day she came out, and I was like totally in sync.
Oh yeah,
Backstreet Boys. It's like your typical.
Now I do have to tell you though, I was not a big fan of Britney. And I mean, she was all right, but I like Jessica Simpson better. I thought she was so pretty.
So my wedding song is "Take My Breath Away" by Jessica Simpson.
Oh,
like her version of it.
Okay. Ours was a Van Morrison song, "Into the Mystic." Yeah, that probably says something about us, doesn't it?
Probably.
We need a music analyst here. To tell us what all of our
I saw, this is like a while ago, but there was a DJ, like a wedding DJ, and he said that he could tell, like,
by the song
that they chose, if they would stay together.
I saw that. I've seen that before, because I was like, I don't even want to know.
Yeah.
We've reached the limit, though. We're almost at 20. We're good, right?
Yeah, I think we surpassed.
Yeah. Like, I remember seeing that, too, because I don't want to say the songs because people are coming at me. So we're just going to moving on.
Yeah.
How about The Housemaid by Freida McFadden?
Okay, I'm going to read it first and then get into it.
Okay.
I have thoughts.
I know. I have thoughts too.
Yeah. Every day I clean the Winchester's beautiful house top to bottom. I collect their daughter from school and I cook a delicious meal for the whole family before heading up to eat alone in my tiny room on the top floor. I try to ignore how Nina makes a mess just to watch me clean it up, how she tells strange lies about her own daughter, and how her husband, Andrew, seems more broken every day. But as I look into Andrew's handsome brown eyes, so full of pain, it's hard not to imagine what it would be like to live Nina's life, the walk-in closet, the fancy car, the perfect husband. I only try on one of Nina's pristine white dresses once, just to see what it's like, but she soon finds out. And by the time I realize my attic bedroom door only locks from the outside, it's far too late. But I reassure myself the Winchesters don't know who I really am. They don't know what I'm capable of. All right, so trigger warning, domestic violence.
Yes.
Did you not think that this was like almost exactly like...
Just like, was it The Last Miss Parrish?
Yes.
Or Behind Closed Doors?
No, The Last Miss Parrish.
Yeah. Just like it.
And so then I look up to see like which one's written first. I'm like, well,
I wanted to do that too, and I forgot.
So The Last Miss Parrish was written first.
Okay.
I think I texted you, and I'm like, yeah.
Well, and then when we were chatting too, I was like, do I need to finish reading or no? And by the way, we might have some spoilers in this.
Yeah, I got some issues with the
blurb.
Yes,
me too. That's what I was going to say.
So she found out right away
immediately
that the door didn't lock.
Like the first day she was there.
That's crap.
Yeah, and her trying on the white dress.
Yeah. That was crap.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the other part was that they don't know who she is. Well, Miss Winchester knew exactly who she was
from the beginning.
So I had a lot of issues with that.
Yeah.
But I did like the ending.
Yeah. I could not help but to compare, me everything from going to the play and the dinner and the hotel, like everything was so much the same.
Yes.
The ending was a little different, and I still feel like there was some things in the ending I didn't understand, but I was trying to like multitask a lot at the end. So I might have to go back and listen, but spoiler here. So they get their revenge on Mr. Man because he was the twisted one. But so the gardener guy, I kept thinking he was going to be like some kind of undercover cop. Okay.
Yeah, I thought he was like FBI agent or something.
Yeah. Because I felt like he was just always out there just like piddling, keeping busy, like replant the same flower.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know, but at the end I was like, what the heck? Whatever. Right. Yeah. So I had so many issues with this book. I think it's because we'd read the other one, just the last book was the last Miss Parrish.
Yeah.
So I didn't like it. I know. It was okay.
I wonder if I would have read this one first, or if they'd have been more spaced out.
Yeah.
How I would feel. But I felt like because we did just read that one, I saw this coming a mile away because it was even written the same, like part 1 and part 2.
I know. When it got to that part, I was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did have Alexa read this one to me.
Me too.
And it was okay. Yeah. For some reason, I was able to follow it well.
So, okay, let me tell you what I thought was going to happen.
Okay.
And then I was like, it would have been such a better story.
I'm sure it would have.
Okay. They kept, spoiler alert, kept saying like they wanted another baby.
Yeah.
I thought that they were going to knock the maid up and then lock her up into the attic to have the baby and take the baby. That's what I thought was going to happen.
Oh, yeah. I could see that would have been a good...
Then I thought it was going to go into... That's how they got their first daughter, because they had the claw marks.
On the door, like when she first went in there. Well, like, because we had even talked and said that we thought that this book was going to be like The Handmaid's Tale, which that kind of goes more along the lines than this. So I could see... Yeah, that might be... Let me write that book real fast.
That's where I thought it was going. And so... I did get tripped up with that because I didn't think it was going to be exactly like
the
other book. So
I mean, the only things that were different were her accomplice was the dude, and then her backstory with her
the maid wasn't like so like trashy.
Yeah. Well, she wasn't. Her intent was not to destroy this.
Yeah, she just wanted a job and somewhere to live.
Yeah. But there is a sequel.
Yes, I know. I'm just not really interested.
I can't either. I just wanted to throw it out there. It's called like The Housemaid's Secret, I think.
I'm not interested.
I'm not either, but I thought I'd throw it out there.
And
if anybody did love it.
I was like kind of mad that this had 4.5 stars on Amazon.
Yeah.
And I went through the reviews and nobody made a comparison.
Now, I did read one review and they were like, this is just pretty much flat out plagiarism. It wasn't on Amazon. It might have been on like Goodreads or something like that. Yeah. So I did see that because I was like, to what? And then I started reading it and I was like, duh.
Yeah.
So I'll take blame for that. Like our next group of books, I'm definitely going to.
You would never have known that based off of the.
I know, but still, like, and like I had said, I need some more palate cleansers in between.
Yeah.
So next week, and I don't even know what this one's about either. So let me explain to you where our book list came from. I don't know if we ever said it. So I had a list of books I wanted to read, and you had a list of books. We kind of mixed them together, and then I think we threw a couple more in there. So that's how we built the first one. The second one that we're working on now, we're getting a lot of recommendations. I would love some more. So if you have any book recommendations, please let us know.
Yep.
We'd love to add them to our list. We have several from Alexis. Who has given us a few that I will definitely add in there. But we're going to continue with, I think it's been fun to have the list, and it's made me read more.
Me too. I do read a lot of different books throughout the week.
Yeah.
And I actually, speaking of, just downloaded Nicole Eaton's book.
Oh, did you?
I want to read it before we meet her, know what she's about. And she said that she's having another book launch in November.
I thought it was August.
It might be.
I'm off today.
Okay, it probably is August.
Later in the year.
Yeah, that's exciting. I actually started looking at her stuff, and after you had mentioned her, I totally love her vibe. Like,
I know.
I think she would be such a cool chick.
Absolutely. When you look at her and kind of see, she's very put together.
Yeah.
Like I said, she's kind of not
anti-us,
but yeah. But then when you hear,
if you guys know me or Meredith, we are not
hot mess express.
Yes,
a lot of times
not put together.
No. I tried to fake it, but
we can clean up nice sometimes.
Yes, but for the most part, it's like I'm always texting you. I'm running late, but I'm coming. But anyway, so you see her and she's, this beautiful, well put together lady, and then you hear her talk and not, she's eloquent, but she's also like,
I can see she's down to earth.
Yes.
I think that's like, I don't know. I think she'd be really cool.
I do too.
So I got intrigued after last week. And thanks for that recommendation.
Sure.
I'm super excited to read her book. So I've got it on the Kindle.
That sounds good. I am actually listening to another one as well because you had mentioned it, Down the Rabbit Hole.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been listening to that one, and it's by Holly Madison, and it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's entertaining, and, you just never know what's true. This whole book could be lies, but it's a neat perspective, and it's about her time in the Playboy Mansion for those that don't know who she is. So if you're intrigued,
yes,
if you're intrigued, then definitely check that out because that's very interesting too. Now, our next book on our list is Saving Noah, I believe, by Lucinda Berry.
Yes. That is on Hoopla.
Is it?
Yes.
I have no idea what this one's about. Hopefully that one is a little bit different.
Yeah. When I found it, I think I read it and I was like, oh, this sounds a little bit better.
Okay. Yeah. We're going to get there.
Yeah.
We're going to get it figured out. Brian and I watched a movie last night that was absolutely terrible. So do not watch. I think it was called The Prisoner or Prisoners. I thought it was going to be like, did you see Taken with Liam Neeson?
Yes.
I thought it was that kind of vibe. It's got Gerard Butler in it. And I thought that's what it was going to be about. And it started off with people getting taken, but then the whole movie was about them torturing the people that they thought no. And we were like, this is terrible. Can we stop? And they're like, well, I kind of want to know how it ends. It's
a train wreck.
Don't watch that movie. I mean, don't do it. I also had Jake Gyllenhaal in it. Just don't do it. I mean, find another movie that they're in.
So Dylan and I just watched the other night Creed 3. Because he loved Creed too, and he thought it was going to get played out, But it was actually really good. Like I enjoyed it. He enjoyed it. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you like the Creed movies,
I saw the first one, not the second one, but I would like to. For some reason, the men in my house don't want to watch a lot of sports movies.
No, well, we were like searching, because I feel like there's nothing good.
I know there's not.
So when Dylan asks to watch a movie, I'm always down because I need that time with him.
Yeah.
But finding a movie is like near impossible.
Well, I try to when I come across them, like save them to my list. I'm sure you probably have a list or something like that too to come back to.
Yeah.
When it's like, what can we watch? And so Prisoners was on there. But if any of you guys have that on my list or save to later, take it off. That's ridiculous. It was terrible. I mean, it was terrible. And just don't do it. Don't even waste your life. It was disturbing. It was just so disturbing what they were doing to these people.
And then don't you feel like, okay, the people that think this stuff up and write this stuff should be like in an institution somewhere?
Probably.
Because if you can think this stuff up, like...
I know. Oh my God. It was terrible.
I'm sorry.
It was terrible. So after we watched the movie and we were both looking at each other, it was like midnight. And we're normally early birds.
Yeah.
Like at least Brian is. I'll stay up and watch TV, but he gets up way earlier than me. So I'll stay up and just chill. But we were both sitting there like all the lights on in our house, like, oh my God, this is insane. I was like, we've got to watch something else. Like we need like something funny or something. And I'm not a big like sitcom person unless it's Friends.
Yes.
I don't like the laugh track, all that stupid stuff. So he put it on Gabriel Iglesias, which is Fluffy. It's his name. He's a comedian. And we sat there till like 1 a.m. just watching this comedian named Fluffy. It was pretty funny. It was just out of sorts.
Yeah.
It didn't feel right.
So I love scary movies.
Yeah.
And like so does Dylan. And
sure.
So like the whole month of October, like we do like scary movie marathons. Brandon is not a fan. Like he'll sit through it if he has to, but like he's just not. So when we first moved to Tennessee, Dylan wasn't born yet. We watched, I think it was The Ring. And and I'm such a jerk.
Yeah, were you mean to him?
That's one where I think the girls in the like if they're in the shower or something, and like it's like they make like this weird this weird sound.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that was the movie that it was. So he was in the shower.
You did it. Oh my gosh.
Like the weird whatever noise, and I started scratching.
Oh, you are so terrible.
I'm lucky he didn't punch me.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, I'm a total jerk.
Brian used to scare me. If I'd be in the shower and he would come home and jerk the shower curtain back, especially in our old house where we used to live, because you just couldn't hear and we didn't have an alarm on that house or anything. And he would just come in and it would terrify me. Now, I love to scare people, but don't scare me.
I don't know if I might have already mentioned this when my uncle used to babysit me when I was little.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in kindergarten, and kindergarten's partial days. And so my uncle would sometimes pick me up or get me from kindergarten or whatever and watch me for the afternoon. And he would let me watch Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger. And at the age of 5.
Right. That might have spurned your love.
And I was like, I'm old enough. I can handle it. And so, of course, at night, I'd be petrified. And my brother and sisters would sit outside my bedroom door singing the Freddy song. After I went to bed. And I was a baby, so I went to bed first. And so they would sit out there and sing that song.
To the princess.
Yes. They were jealous.
Rude. They were
They weren't
jealous.
royalty.
No, they weren't.
Did you hear about those girls from the high school?
Yes. We didn't talk about this last time?
No, we didn't. And I thought about it again because I just saw something else come up on my newsfeed about it. And we need to talk about this because
this is crazy.
Okay, do you want to tell what happened?
No, because I'm just going kind of on a lot of hearsay.
Yeah.
If you might have more detail.
Well, because Dylan saw a lot of the stuff that was on Snapchat.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So there was 3 girls from the local high school that invited a 4th friend, and I use that term very loosely, with them for the week to go to a lake house. And on the last night, the 3 girls tortured the 4th friend that they invited, beat her up. She was almost unconscious. They locked her in a room.
I saw that.
Stole her phone. And they videoed and took pictures of the whole thing and put it on Snapchat or whatever social media platforms. My son saw it on Snapchat.
Yeah. And that's how I found out about it, is because of Snapchat. And Jackson had already, by the time I got to him this was even just a couple hours later, to talk to him about it and have those kind of conversations that you have to. He was like, yeah, I saw. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Now, they were also drinking.
Yes.
And parents had supplied it, right?
It was
allegedly.
Allegedly. I mean, and the news article did, I think, say that.
Yeah.
That the parent had. And they also left them there unsupervised, which they are out their senior year.
Yeah.
And so, but to supply the alcohol.
Right. That's not me. I know a lot of people do that, and but not in my house.
Yeah.
No judgment. Yeah, judgment.
Yeah, judgment. Situation, there's total judgment.
There's total judgment.
And I'm sure that's not his intentions. He was not, or she, whoever it was. Yeah. I'm sure I would hope didn't know that this was going to happen. I would come out of retirement and fighting.
Yeah.
And if it was my kid, I feel so bad for these parents of this girl. And I feel bad for the parents of the girls that did it too, because I'm sure that's not how the girls were raised, or they weren't intended to.
You hope not. Right.
Yeah. Can't imagine being on either side of it.
Right.
Because I do know that all of the parents had to shut down their social media accounts. The girls of,
I'm sure.
The girls that were doing the horrible things.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine being on either side of it. And, it took me back to pre-K, when you had the little biters.
Yeah.
And so Dylan was never a biter. He bit me once, and I bit him back, and not hard, but he was what the heck? And I'm like, it hurts. Don't do it. And he never did it again.
Yeah.
But there was a kid in his daycare that was a biter, and he would come home. I mean, chomped.
Oh my gosh.
And I was ready to go in here and fight the kid.
Yeah. You're going to handle that situation.
I was livid. I was friends with the daycare teacher, and she's like, the parents are so embarrassed. I told them if this continues, he's going to have to leave. And I was like, oh God, I couldn't imagine. You put yourself in the other parent's shoes. So when I heard about this, thought of how both parents must be feeling. And I mean, I'm sure that's not how they try to raise their kid. And from what I've read and from like what a lot of the kids, I guess, are saying, it was one girl that was doing most of the physical harm.
Okay.
And the other girls were recording and like laughing, and I mean, they were participating, and they were like,
right. But she was like the ringleader.
Yeah. So
the others. Yeah. With Jackson being just a little bit younger, he was just kind of on the cusp of kind of seeing it like he didn't know them. Now, some of the people he's friends with actually played lacrosse with her. Because some of the girls in Jackson's grade moved up to play with the high school.
Yeah.
So they were friends. And I think that really affected them, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy. Like you said, they didn't raise their child to do these things, to be this way. Yeah. I mean, you would think to be on either side of that is just, I mean, where do you go from here? I mean, again, on both sides, like, do you, I know, well, I would assume there's charges being pressed and all that kind of stuff.
Again, though, I would be very confrontational. Like, I know I would probably be arrested. I would be in jail. Like, the girls would, I would be in jail.
Do we know how she, like, did the parents come home and, like, we don't know that much. Yeah.
I would be in jail is all
I know. I know. It's a crazy situation.
This happened not too long ago in Australia.
Oh.
And the girl was like hospitalized. And then there was one other incident that I think the girl died. But it's like all girls. And I told Dylan, I'm like, I said, if you ever find yourself in that, you better put a stop to it. Like, you know, he was like appalled. Like, he was like, oh my God, I can't believe this. I mean, like, him and his friends group is so tight and like, and I just think boys are, I don't think that they have that mentality.
They handle things so differently. Yeah. Now, I don't like, though, and I don't know if Jackson's done this or not. I would hope that he hasn't. I've never found anything like this where they fight and they'll record it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like Instagram accounts for it.
And I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily want him in and jumping in and breaking up every fight.
No.
But I don't want you to video it and egg it on either.
If you lure somebody to a place, like, I mean, I would hope that one, he wouldn't, and maybe I'm like delusional. I don't know. I just don't feel like he's that type of kid. I hope he's not that type of kid.
I know.
Again, like, you always like hope that your kid, again, like these parents probably hoped that their kids would never do this.
Right. I know. It was just,
I could not imagine being those parents on either side.
I'm sad for everybody involved in that because everything for their lives is going to change.
Yes.
Don't be bullies, kids.
No.
Don't be jerks.
And please, again, like, my whole goal in life is to not raise a butthead.
Right. Right.
It needs to stop. Like, it's such nonsense.
Yeah. Now, Jackson and his friends, they are a loud group. They are a big group. They're all like really tall for some reason. They're all like 6 feet tall. They're active and everything. But they're not bullies that I know of. And I've never had an issue, but they are to each other.
Yeah.
And I think that's just how you were saying boys are different. It's just the boy dynamic where they are just, no, an outsider, they will encourage them to come in and do something, just like I've seen them, break down practice, do the whatever. But if they're in the group, they are just, I mean, ruthless.
Yeah, and I think that's like the boy.
I think so.
Stuff.
Yeah, it is.
Their villains don't get hurt.
I guess not.
Again, like I don't know. I feel so bad for all the parents involved.
I know. I
feel awful for the girl. Oh my gosh. I hope they get whatever is coming to them.
Mm-hmm. I hope they get what they deserve.
Yes. And then some. No.
Goodness. No, it's not. It's not. I mean, it's okay for us to get upset about this stuff because, I mean, we have kids this age, and for that stuff to, be in the schools where they're going or have been, I mean, it's terrifying.
Well, speaking of court of laws,
yes.
Do you want to do our dumb crime?
Absolutely.
So this week was Missouri.
It was Missouri. I had a few, so I'm going to read the one that I liked the most. Now, this is from several years ago. This is from 2012.
Okay.
That's not the same year you had, is it?
I have no clue.
Okay. One afternoon in May of 2012, an unnamed local man, perhaps nostalgic for the days when St. Louis was part of the Wild West, decided to hijack a horse-drawn carriage, the kind that takes visitors on romantic tours of downtown. perhaps would have helped if he knew how to drive the carriage. Instead, once he hijacked it, he leapt over the carriage. His horse, Harry, bravely bolted towards his stable with the driver and some military men in hot pursuit. In the barn waited the police and oats or whatever heroic horses get these days.
Where did the military men
I don't know. There was a lot as I was just rereading that, kind of like in the blurb of our book, that just made no sense.
Was it just like military dudes in like
I don't know. I don't know. That probably wasn't the most informed.
Have you ever taken one of those horse-drawn carriage rides?
Yeah, I think so.
We did on our first wedding anniversary in Nashville. We went to the Melting Pot for dinner.
Nice.
And so we did that thing, and like I felt so like uncomfortable. It's just not my thing. Like I don't do like the whole like super like romantic crap.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just not
It's
me.
not your thing.
No. And I'm like, okay, like what are we supposed to do? Like it feels like weird talking because like the dudes there like the carriage thing. People are looking at you like and I'm like, this is
But in the Hallmark movies it's always perfect.
Yeah, no, like it's not for me.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. And Brian won't ride a horse. He's like, man, it makes my butt hurt.
All of my family loved like horseback ride. My dad didn't really, but like my mom and my sisters and my brother, like we're all like down to do that. And I'm like, give me horsepower. I wanted a 4-wheeler. I wanted something like horse. Yeah. The whole like great outdoors thing is not for me.
Not you. You're an indoor girl.
I'm not. And I don't want to be camping or like doing like that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Camping to me is in a hotel.
Me too.
I'm scared of horses. I have a fear.
Not scared of them. I don't want to ride them.
I don't want to do that either. I can't remember. There's an actual name for it. I mean, there's a name for every kind of fear, but so I have the scared of horse fear.
We were in either Aruba or Costa Rica, and there was wild horses on the beach. And so Brandon went over and like was petting it. And like he was like the horse whisperer. I mean, I kept my distance. I'm like, I'm good.
Like you would an alligator.
No, that's you.
I get us mixed up sometimes.
So mine was different this week. Jennifer Vaughn, let it not be said that we scorn efficiency. Why do just one thing at a time when you can multitask? But Vaughn took efficiency to a whole new level one evening last June when she was arrested while shoplifting at a South County Walmart. While searching her purse, police discovered a one-pot meth lab cooking in a 20-ounce soda bottle. Probably would have been all ready when she got home. If only those pesky security cameras hadn't interfered.
Oh my gosh.
Oh. You know that thing blew up though in her purse?
She had that meth to go.
She sure did.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Could you imagine like shopping though and like this lady's purse explodes?
Ooh. That makes no sense. Why did she do that?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously she's got a lot going on.
Yeah, addiction, I guess.
Yeah.
Do some crazy stuff.
Yeah. But she...
In her purse.
That is... She must carry a big purse like I do.
That was inventive.
Yeah. She just needs a little batch.
I guess. And I'm like, is it like a 20-ounce bottle or is it like the 2-liter bottle?
20 ounce. Have you ever watched Naked and Afraid or any of those shows? You know, so they...
I would not last.
Oh, me neither. But they boil like a little bit of water over the thing, and then they, like, as soon as that's done, they have to like boil something else. I guess that was her mentality with the meth. Like, I want to do this, and as soon as it's done, while I'm smoking it, or whatever you do with meth, I don't even know. I'm going to work on my next batch.
Yeah.
But I got to go to Walmart.
Get more supplies.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
So no, Naked and Afraid. First of all, I don't want to get naked, and no, because I make the other person afraid.
That's not why the name is that way, but it's funny.
But I would not last on that show. I go outside and I get attacked by bugs, like mosquitoes. I don't know.
That's all I can think about too. And then they're naked, in their places.
What?
No, me neither. Now have you ever seen them where they drop them off like cold places? And they give them, but they give them like one, like, fox fur or something. I don't know.
Where would you put the
I don't know.
All right, so you got your dumb laws?
I do. Again, I have several.
Me too.
I'll start with this one.
Okay.
We are not sure how or why one would do this, but don't inhale your pipe through your ear in Missouri, or you might land in jail. I don't even know what that's supposed to mean.
That is some skill.
Inhale through your ear.
Yeah.
What you got?
All right. This is for University City. 4 women may not rent an apartment together.
I saw that. But if they're related, they can. Did you see that part?
But I'm like, what do you do in college?
Well, women probably can't go to college. I saw this one too, that clotheslines are forbidden in Colombia, but hanging on your fence post is okay. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy.
I've got theories for this one. A milkman may not run while on duty. And I'm thinking that this is where that, is your child the milkman's goes into.
I thought it was my milkshake brings on the publicity. Oh my goodness. In somewhere Springs, I'm not even going to try to say the name of this. You can't throw hard objects by hand.
Can you throw them by your feet?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
In Purdy, Missouri, dancing is strictly prohibited.
Okay. Well, how about if you're going to sit on the curb in St. Louis, don't take your bucket of beer, because that's illegal.
Well, that's no fun. All right, and I don't know how to really pronounce this. Natchez, maybe? It shall be unlawful to provide beer or other intoxicants to elephants.
Okay. And I did read one where they in 21 and under in Missouri, they cannot even take out the trash if there is a single empty alcohol beverage container, or they can be charged with illegal possession. Oh my gosh.
So you said last week that Dylan got kicked out of Carowinds.
Yes.
Did you see Carowinds, the Fury?
Yes. So Carowinds is breaking without Dylan being there, basically, is what I'm hearing.
They shouldn't have kicked him out.
So he got kicked out last Friday. Today is Saturday. So yesterday there were the videos, just filling everybody in, videos and pictures of the Fury,
which is their main roller coaster now.
Yes. Cracked at the top of one of the support beams, where the support beam connects to the track. Did you see the videos of it?
It was shaken
by, and it was just
yes. And there's photos from days prior of the crack.
Yes.
And they're supposed to be inspected daily.
I know. I don't know. I'm not trying to take up for these people, but okay. So, you see something and it's little, and then, it just gradually gets big. Yeah, no, that didn't happen. Did you see that they wrapped it with
saran
wrap or something? Oh my God. And then, of course, all the southern rednecks are putting duct tape on it. It's crazy.
Yeah. So I was like, look, Dylan, and he's like, I saw that. He's like, I put it on my story that Carowinds can whatever. So
yeah, that's bad. That could have been very, very bad.
So several years ago, Brandon and I used to go with Dylan.
Yeah.
And so Brandon being a welding engineer before all of that's what he went to school for.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. He's got his, welding engineering degree or whatever. And we would be on the roller coasters and we'd be going up and he'd be like, that's a bad weld. Oh, that's a bad weld.
No.
And I'm like, don't tell me these things.
No.
I'm like, will you stop it?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. So he's like, yep. Oh, that.
Has he seen this? I know he's
up.
Yeah.
I don't know if he saw it or not on Facebook or anything. He hasn't mentioned it. But I was like,
yeah.
And that's all I can think about was Brandon telling me as we're going up the hill, pointing out all the bad welds on the roller coasters.
Well, with those things, I don't know how that was missed because it's huge.
Yeah. No, it's a huge crack. Like a crack. Split.
Right. It has separated.
Yeah.
And when they go around that curve, because it's right on that curve, when they go around the curve, it just you can see it
bouncing,
waving. Yeah. It's terrifying.
No, I love roller coasters.
I know.
But yeah.
So it is down for the foreseeable future. But now I'm wondering about all the other rides. Now I'm
okay, so Brandon and I, we're just talking about this, about carnivals, the traveling carnivals.
Oh, I told Brian he could be a carny the other day. That's funny.
So, I'm like, well, when you're little, it's so much fun, all the rides. But then you, as you're older and you see the people that put together these rides, take it, put them up and down, and I'm like, none of this is safe.
None of this is okay.
No. No.
I've gotten to and as I've gotten older, I've not been put your hands up in the air, but I've been oh my God, we're going to die. Because, whatever you're doing, you're thinking, oh my gosh, all it takes is this to not click right.
Yeah.
Or, you know, the chairlifts, when you're riding those, like, oh my gosh, what if it just collapses? And all those things.
It's like you hear all these rides getting stuck. This year's been exceptionally bad at Carowinds.
Yeah.
So I am like not sad that Dylan got kicked out.
He went to Carowinds jail.
So the 2 kids that he got kicked out with were over today.
Yeah.
But they were super impressed that there's an interrogation room at Carowinds.
I actually knew that there was a facility because one of Jackson's friends got kicked out last year. Did I tell you this? Okay. He got kicked out and banned last year as well, and I give him a hard time, like, because he was in Carowinds jail.
Yeah.
And I'm like, did you make little hash marks like 1 hour? To, you know, like you see, I'm just doing with a rock or something. But I you know, it's what it is, right? It's life.
Yeah. So, we're not sad anymore.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll get that fixed.
Yeah.
For everybody. I know. That's terrifying.
Yeah. So what state do you want to do next week?
Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
I was totally drawing a blank. So I would like some more reviews of our podcast, please. Mm-hmm. If you guys could please subscribe.
Yes.
I'd really appreciate some reviews.
Yeah.
Hint, hint, hint. You can make it a fake name. It's okay. We don't care what kind of name you put on there.
There's some fun names on there.
There are some fun names on there.
Yeah. Maybe next week we'll read a couple of the reviews.
Okay.
To inspire.
Maybe it'll be yours if you submit one.
Yes.
Don't.
We'll inspire you.
Yeah. Yeah. But please subscribe.
Yes, please do. And then if you're not in our Facebook group, join that because we try to have some fun in there.
We are going to have some fun.
And we're going to do our party, our viewing party.
Yeah, we're going to do our viewing party in there. And I'm going to link that Anne Hathaway thing in there because that was pretty funny. All those neat gifts that people have. And reviews.
Please.
Thank y'all very much.
Thank you guys for listening. And we will be back next Tuesday with another book review, our Ohio Dumb Crimes.
Yep.
And Dumb Laws.
Sounds good.
I'm sure there's plenty.
Yeah.
And we thank you guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.